Wiggle your index finger. Now, try to swallow. Good. You still have a body. Nikki Freeman has a body too. She just doesn't have access to it anymore. And here's the thing about losing control of your own nervous system. It doesn't feel like falling asleep. It doesn't feel like anything, fading out. It feels like being wide awake, fully conscious, and completely locked out of the controls while someone else drives your face into a smile you didn't choose. That's not a metaphor. That is the next 90 minutes of this film. Stay with me.
Before we talk about what happens to Nikki, you need to understand what's being taken, because the horror only works if you know exactly what was there before the curse got to it. Nikki is sharp, the kind of sharp that reads 3 books at a time and has opinions about all of them. She works at a dusty, dying music store, not because she loves it, but because it pays the rent while she figures out the actual plan. And the actual plan is real. She's gonna quit, she's gonna write, and the books she has outlined in her head are genuinely the kind of thing that might matter to someone. She has friends who love her. Ian, who is chaotic in the best possible way. Sarah, who is the steady center of the group. She has an apartment that's hers, a future that's hers, a personality that is entirely, specifically, irreducibly hers. She is not a protagonist who exists to suffer. She is a person, and that distinction is going to matter enormously in about 45 seconds. Because her coworker, Bear, has been nursing a quiet, festering, never-expressed fixation on her for years. He is what a certain corner of the internet would call a nice guy. He brings her coffee, he remembers small things she said. He has never, in the entire history of their relationship, made his feelings known in a way that would require her to respond. And then he finds a souvenir shop. And in that shop, there is a branch from a one-wish willow tree. And Bear, in a moment of spectacular moral failure dressed up as romantic longing, makes a wish. He wishes for Nikki to love him. He doesn't wish for her to be happy. He doesn't wish for a chance or a conversation or a single honest moment between two people. He wishes to rewrite her. The branch glows. The wish lands. And Nikki Freeman, the real one, the one with the books and the plans and the specific laugh, gets shoved into the back of her own skull. The meat puppet takes the wheel. Here is what possession actually feels like in this film. And obsession is unusually committed to making you understand. You are not unconscious. There is no merciful blackout. Every single sensory input is running at full capacity. You can feel the floor under your feet as your legs walk themselves to Bear's house. You can feel the cool air on your skin. You can feel your own heartbeat. You just cannot redirect any of it. Your vocal cords produce words in your voice. I love you. I missed you. You're all I want. And you hear them the way you'd hear a stranger say them, from inside, with no ability to stop. Your hands touch a man you never chose. Your mouth forms expressions you did not make. And every nerve ending is reporting in real time, which means the violation isn't something you can dissociate from. It is continuous, it is total, it is woven into every second. 25 minutes in, the magic glitches. Just a fraction of a second, a gap in the system, a dropped frame, and the real Nikki lunges for the surface. She throws herself off the bed. She screams, "It's not me." And the way she says it is not dramatic, it's not performative. It's the sound of someone who has been drowning in silence for 25 minutes and just broke the surface long enough to get one breath of air. She grabs a broken bottle. She starts cutting into her own skin. Not because she's lost her mind, because she is desperately, rationally trying to prove she still exists. The body is not hers anymore. The voice is not hers anymore. But the pain is hers, and it leaves marks that are hers. And in this moment, that is the only proof of self she has access to. Then the curse reasserts. The hands go still. The eyes refocus. The smile comes back. Wide, unblinking, technically correct in every mechanical detail, and absolutely wrong in every way a human face can be wrong. And the audience watches her walk back toward Bear, smiling, and they feel it in their chest. That specific, quiet horror. Not the horror of a monster, but the horror of watching a person be erased in real time and having no way to reach them.
The Willow curse is not dramatic. It is not cinematic. It is bureaucratically efficient. And that efficiency is the most disturbing thing about it. It doesn't just override Nikki's feelings. It overrides her basic biological maintenance routines. She will stand in the corner of Bear's bedroom for 6 hours watching him sleep. Not because she wants to, because the curse has indexed her entire system for a single task: proximity maintenance. And sleep is not on the approved activities list. She tapes the front door shut so he can't leave for work. She is prepared to stand at her post at his bedroom door without moving, without eating, without attending to any basic human need, because the curse has determined that those things are lower priority than not losing visual contact with the target. She is not a girlfriend. She is a surveillance system that learned to blink.
And then comes the kitchen. Bear mentions, offhand, in the easy way people mention things they'll never actually do, that he's always wanted to be a restaurant critic. Nikki's hijacked brain processes this as a priority 1 directive. She goes to the kitchen. She opens the refrigerator. She finds the cat. Bear's cat died earlier in the film, got into his medication, the kind of mundane tragedy that happens and gets absorbed into the background noise of a life. The cat is in the refrigerator. Nikki knows what it is. She can see exactly what she's doing. She plates it anyway. She carries it to him. She watches him eat it. And her face holds the smile, that wide, empty, optimized smile, the whole time. Because the curse doesn't distinguish between doing something for him and doing something good for him. It just executes. This is what love looks like when you remove consent and replace it with programming.
The worst moment in Nikki's story doesn't happen in the kitchen. It doesn't happen during a blackout or a violent episode. It happens at 3 in the morning, when the curse weakens just enough, just barely enough, for the real Nikki to surface and hold the surface for more than a few seconds. She's not screaming this time. She's past screaming. Screaming requires energy and hope and the belief that the sound will reach something. Nikki is at the bottom of something that is past all of those. She looks at Bear and she says, clearly, quietly, through tears, "Please, just kill me. I can't do this anymore." She is not being dramatic. She is not having a breakdown. She is making a rational request with full information from inside a situation she did not create and cannot escape. She is asking for the only exit available. She is asking him to end it. Bear looks at her and he asks, "Is it really that bad to choose me?"
Sit with that. He has just watched the woman he claims to love beg for death. Watched her describe months of biological imprisonment. Watch the real person he says he wants look him in the eye and say, "I cannot survive this." And his first, unguarded, uncensored response is to make it about whether she's being unfair to him. He is not confused. He is not in shock. He is not asking a clarifying question. He is asking her to reconsider his feelings. He is, in that exact moment, more interested in his own emotional position than in her survival. This is the scene that the film has been building toward. Not the possession, not the violence, this conversation. Because this is where the film shows you that the curse is not the only thing that had no regard for Nikki's consent. Bayer wanted a person who would choose him. When that wasn't available, he obtained a person who was physically incapable of doing anything else. And even now, even with her begging, he doesn't really see the problem. Nikki sees it. And she knows that even if the curse broke right now, she would still be standing in this room with him, alone with that answer.
When Bear finally breaks, when the weight of what he's done gets through whatever insulation he built around himself, he goes looking for the same pills that killed the cat. He has decided, in his own way, to opt out. Nikki's cursed body moves before she can stop it. She finds the last remaining willow branch. She snaps it. She makes a wish. I want Bear to love me more than anything in the world. Now, they are symmetrical. Two systems locked in mutual obsession, both stripped of autonomy, both burning. She holds him. She kisses him. She stays with him while the overdose does its work. She feels every second. And when his pulse stops, the curse evaporates. Not gradually, not with ceremony. It just ends, like a process that was terminated. The silence is immediate.
Nikki Freeman wakes up in the apartment. She is covered in tattoos she doesn't remember getting. Her hands remember things she doesn't. Her body has a history she was not present for. Around her, Ian, Sarah, and Bear, all dead. $1 billion in cash is sitting on the floor of Ian's apartment across town. A subplot that resolves itself into pure dark absurdity because no one who knew about it survived. Nikki sits in the blood-soaked apartment. She begins to understand her situation. The curse is gone. She is herself again. Every thought she has is hers. Every movement is hers. Every breath is a breath she chose to take. And none of that is going to matter to the police. Because the police are going to find a woman in an apartment with 3 bodies. They are going to find a woman covered in unexplained tattoos with no alibi and no corroborating witnesses at the center of what looks, from the outside, from any outside, like a double homicide. A magic willow tree made me do it is not a legal defense. It's a psychiatric evaluation. It's a diagnosis. It is the kind of thing that adds years to a sentence. Nikki Freeman survived the curse. She will spend the rest of her life in a cell. And the final image of the film is a scream. The last scream. The one she finally gets to own. And it is the most honest sound she has made in months. Because it is finally, completely, irreversibly hers. That's the ending. No rescue, no loophole, no magic branch that fixes it. Just a woman who got her mind back in time to understand the full extent of what was taken from her, and the cage that's waiting on the other side.
Obsession 2026 is not a love story. It's a property rights horror film, and the property is a human mind. If you want to find out how you die in every Fallout vault, or why it genuinely, specifically sucks to be a Witcher, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.